We look at the world and feel a relentless slipping away. Time seems like a one-way street of decay, taking everything we build and slowly grinding it down to dust. But that feeling is a trick of the light. The laws of thermodynamics and the verses of ancient theology are actually reading the exact same source code. When we look past the surface, the universe reveals itself as a perfect closed loop, where absolutely nothing is ever destroyed. That overwhelming sense of loss we call entropy is actually energy and information trading places. It is a constant, hyper-efficient transfer of states, strictly contained within an unbreakable boundary. Reality is a meticulously woven chainmail. Every single action, every breath, and every choice is mathematically conserved. This flawless conservation relies on an invisible blueprint, the 2-3-7 progression, a sequence governing every cycle of existence. The sequence begins with phase 1, the split. To generate a reality where things happen, the universe must break its own symmetry. Existence requires tearing itself into two opposing forces, potential and kinetic energy, wave and particle, light and dark. This activation is permanent and irreversible. The direction locks, forcing reality out of its dormant state and into active motion. The instant those two poles push apart, the clock starts. Time functions as the non-refundable cost, tick by tick, for crossing into existence. A system built strictly on two opposing poles would instantly annihilate itself through pure friction. To survive, the universe establishes a state of Mīzān, a precise balance that resolves the binary split into a three-part structure. This third node mediates tension, forming a triadic engine. It turns chaos into a functional system of knowledge, execution, and submission. This mechanism acts as a fractal rule, stacking identically across three domains of human experience: life, death, and repetition. The triad absorbs the chaos of the initial split, locking the system into a stable mathematical result. Yet even a balanced triadic engine has an inherent limit. If left entirely to its own internal momentum, the cycle will eventually destabilize and spin out of control. It requires a +1 invariant, an anchor that sits completely outside the cycle, offering a stabilizing constant that does not react to the surrounding motion. The moment that anchor appears, the erratic motion snaps into a controlled, permanent orbit. The chaos is locked down. We see this in the account of Dāwūd. Taghūt and Jālut represent the horizontal, gravitropic struggle of the field, two sides locked in a cycle of conflict. Dāwūd arrived from outside the spinary as a boy without rank, bypassing the geometry of the battlefield to act as the fixed coordinate. By stepping entirely outside the chaotic conflict, he became the independent constant that stabilized the kingdom. Without an unchanging central mass, no system, whether it's a spiral galaxy or the human soul, can ever return to its source. That return brings us to the final phase, stage 7. This is the seal, where the balanced cycle completes its journey. In this 7-phase closure, the system locks into a permanently conserved record. Every ounce of mass and energy transitions into a fixed state. Time enters this record as a spent, non-recoverable token, the price of crossing from smoke into form. We are trapped inside this very engine. You are sitting within that triadic field, rapidly burning through your non-refundable allocation of time. Relying on the human ego or the environmental chaos around you will cause the sheer entropy of this machine to grind you down. Verse 19:12 offers the command, "Hold the book with strength." When you grip that living structure, you displace the unstable self and replace it with the invariant truth of the source. The universal cycle will complete and conserve everything, whether you participate or not. The only question is whether you will be the stable center or the friction that burns away in the process.